Okay, so we've done gold. So what I want to do now is go on a Confluence strategy journey, and we're actually going to use crypto. Okay, for a change. Okay, so I'm always doing futures, occasionally forex, but we're going to use crypto now. We're going to use Bitcoin, and I'm going to show you when I added to my Bitcoin. Okay, so I'm going to, and I use this Confluence strategy very, very regularly. Okay, so let me just get everything set up properly. So what I've done is drawn some vertical lines on there to give you a timeline, if you like. Okay, because one of the important things is that we understand momentum builds with different market behaviors and strategies. If we combine them, we can find good confluences and combinations of timeframes to actually give us confidence that, hey, this thing's going. Okay, and that's what we need as traders. So each signal strategy that I've built is for a specific type of behavior and the strategy that sort of revolves around that behavior. But one of the things I've done for years and years is actually combine those strategies to give me a confluence strategy, hence the title of the book, Confluence, Not Coincidence. Okay. And that's so I'm going to go through a simple one today with just four. One of those is the bias depth heat map. For some reason, my charts have moved, so I just need to go back in time until I find those vertical lines. We're going now. We're going. We'll find them in a minute. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to go what I've got on what time frame. So top left, 30 minutes. So this is Bitcoin US dollar on the VWAP Predator. Okay. On the top right, I'm 2 hours Heikin-Ashi on the xBrat Algo. On the bottom left, I am 2 hours Heikin-Ashi roller coaster. Okay. And on the bottom right, I am 15-minute for my bias depth heat map. Okay, so this is the timeline, if you like. So let's try and zoom out a bit. So this is what we're looking for. So we get a signal Tuesday, the 5th of November this year as a buy signal on the top left for the VWAP Predator. At that point, that's just a signal. When we look at the bias depth heat map, we haven't, for me with a confluence, it's pretty much 6 out of 6. We're literally got some neutral in there. So at the moment, we call that a green light. Yeah. But this is yellow, this is yellow, this is yellow. So we've got 1 out of 4. Okay. Then we get here a buy signal, this green arrow, on the roller coaster on the 5th of November at 0900 hours. Okay. So at this point here, we've now got 2 green. This is that same time on the top here, and then obviously it's just migrated onto there. At that point, our bias depth heat map is almost all green. But then on the 15-minute, we see where on the bottom right chart, in the little purple dots, the bias depth heat map goes all green. Now, because we're on a 2 hour, it looks like it's at the same time there. So all of a sudden now, green light, green light, green light. This is looking good. We then get more signals here on the VWAP Predator. So momentum's starting to build. I'm still only got 3 green lights, okay? But then the final piece of the puzzle is the green hashed line here, okay? Which is the 6-star buy from the xBrat Algo. And at the same time, we can see down on this chart here, were purple because everything is green on the Bias Depth Heatmap. So imagine, I'm a Formula One fan, those start lights, okay? I know the red, but they're green today. They come on, they're all green. So you're watching this, and this is the confluence that you need to say, I'm buying Bitcoin. Yeah. And this could be gold, it could be anything else. So this purchase was around $70,000. Okay. Now, I then refer to the xBrat algo with the manager to manage the trade. This is important, okay? This is my last green light. So I'm going to use the manager on that last green light to manage the trade, okay? So I'm just going to go big on this chart. I'm going to go down. So we come up, we go sideways. We're going sideways as lower than average volume. This manager ribbon stays green. We push up again. We go sideways, lower than average volume. The manager stays green. Even though it comes below this ribbon, don't worry, this is all lower than average volume. You'll see a higher than average volume in there. This red candle here, that's a rejection of the lows of higher than average volume. That's a good sign that it's not going to go down much further. And then it keeps going and keeps going until such time it turns red at $97,000. So I got in at 70, I got out at 97,000. Okay. This is just an example of how to use Confluence to understand. So there's a confluence of 4 there. There's a lot more. Some of my strategies can be quite complex, but I've just gone simple here with 4. And imagine those lights for longs going all green or shorts going all shorts. So I've just done this module now with my Q2 apprenticeship this year. And now they've gone away to figure out what the win percentage is over 90 days with a Confluence model. There's a lot of rules in there. You still got the support and resistance, you got the confirmation, all that sort of stuff. And I know I've already done that work. It's over 95%. Okay. There are trades. Yes. This is a swing type of trade, but with day trades, there's quite a few more. There's not as many as using one specific strategy. Okay. But when you combine them for Confluence, you may only get 25, 30% of the total of amount of available trades because you need the full Confluence to get in the trades. But I know when they do, they move very well. So it's about having that Confluence to give you the real strong moves. It's like jet fuel. It's ready to go. Okay. And you're getting those lights coming on with those different strategies for different behaviors. All the stars are aligning and you go. And then you're using the manager as we train you how to do it. That's in that I was going to call it F1 Academy then, the xBrat Academy essential module, because this maximizes profits consistently. Okay. So any questions now? So I've gone through it reasonably quickly. So the Confluence strategy. Is there any questions on this basic Confluence model that I've used there? Because there must be some you may be confused on something, but hopefully I've explained it in a way that you can understand. In any Confluence model I'm going to take, that I'm using 4, 5, or 6 strategies, I'm always going to have this Bias Depth Heatmap as one of my lights. Okay. And for a Confluence strategy, I need 6 out of 6 on that Bias Depth Heatmap. So any questions on that, please put them in the chat. So where do I place the stop? I use this roller coaster signal. The stop is here at 66,786. Okay. Where do I place the stop as we move along with the manager? What I'm looking for, and this is a really great question here, I see a resistance forming at this point here. Okay. And this is how I call it step management. Okay. So what you're looking for is there's a high pivot on this sort of zone here. Okay, so we see it's struggling to push through. We pull back onto this pivot here. Let's walk through this, okay? Once it breaches and closes up above there, I can then place my stop under the previous low pivot. Let's turn that red. Okay. So now what happens is we pull up, we pull back, we go again, but we really don't breach this, okay, until we get to that point there. Yeah, this. So we have a pivot, but it comes back to test that same high pivot. We come back down. This is a higher low. This is a good sign. Then when that breaks, we bring our trailing stop below this previous pivot here. This is the one that's going to, this is a higher low. This is brilliant, but this is the pivot we're really interested in. Okay. Then we actually do pull back at this point here, and really, until it breaches here, I'm going to hold fast. Okay. We're going, these are small pivots. This is where I need to close. So once that closes above there, I'm looking at these pivots here. This has been a long time. So I'm going to go below the lowest point here, and I'm going to adjust my stop there. Always giving it plenty of room. Okay. This is the main thing here. You've got to give things plenty of room. So then we pull back, and we've got another pivot really formed up here when we go to pull back. It never breaks there, but the manager tells me to get out at this point here at $97,000. Does that make sense, Otis? Yeah. A lot of traders make mistakes in going risk-free too quickly. The manager's letting you know that everything's good. When we're going sideways, it's lower than average volume. There's no real selling volume here. So just be patient and wait. I mean, when it pops up, then you can start to manage, and just be sensible and conservative. Don't be too quick. I know it's money, but you've got to take that out of your mind, and you've got to be an algorithm. Okay. And again, we cover this in the training with the manager in that xBrat Academy Essential module. Okay. Any more questions? And yes, Vincent. So Vincent uses it a lot. So Vincent was, he's finished the apprenticeship now. He's on Q1 this year. So he's gone through all of that xBrat Academy. And, that culmination of that whole apprenticeship and the training is this Confluence model using that software. But what we do is build it up in stages. So we do that essential module first, then we do range breakout. Then we do xBrat Algo. Then we do roller coaster. So you're learning about each one individually, and then at the end, you learn how to put them together, which ones to put together for your instrument that you're married to. So that was an example on cryptocurrency for our Confluence strategy. And again, I write about this a lot in the book. And if you've not got my book, why is the first question. Check it out on Amazon. Confluence, not coincidence. It will open your eyes. Right. So the ASBs are different. The ASBs only work on NinjaTrader. The ASBs that we have the Guardian zones built in, and it also has the Bias Depth Heatmap built in. So tomorrow's session is all about ASBs, okay? You cannot use the indicators that we give you on TradingView or the indicators on NinjaTrader to build your own strategy. They are indicators, okay? What I've just talked about is combining those indicators, being old school traders, and just identifying those confluences, pressing go and managing the trades, okay? The ASBs we will do tomorrow. So the 2-hour session tomorrow, which will be recorded, I'm actually going to get you to choose an instrument, and we're going to go and we're going to look at a couple of different ASBs, and we're going to optimize them totally during that session. Okay. So Alex, does that help? So the automated strategy builders will be tomorrow, and they're only for NinjaTrader. let me know that's okay. And then if no one's got any more questions, I will go over a stock strategy, which I talk about in my book towards the end, but I'm going to use AMD. Yeah, go on, Christine, go ahead. For longer term like this, yeah, absolutely. I don't day trade manually anymore. But for longer term like this, remember, my bread and butter was cut. 80% of my trading was swing trading stocks. And I've done very well on crypto over this last 5 years as well. But I don't day trade stocks. I don't day trade crypto. So I use this Confluence strategy manually a lot. But sometimes it takes time for that to come to fruition. It could take, I mean, in this case, it took a day or so. Sometimes it could be a build-up of that confluence over a week. And that's what I'm looking for. So yes, I mean, to be honest, I'm bored of trading now. I've been doing it 30 years. And what sort of excites me is helping other people and developing software like this new trading buddy that will help people see what I see, but I see it in this weird brain of mine that I've got a bit of. I'm a bit on the spectrum, and I see these patterns and things like that, and everything computes in my brain. But what I try and do is then put that into a visual software to help people. That's what gets me going nowadays. Why do you keep the bias depth heat map on a separate chart? This is just to help me visualize Otis. So I don't trade. For example, BTC US dollar. There is no. I can't use NinjaTrader. There's no data. So I use my TradingView. You see down here says TV Pro, TradingView Pro, because I was a professional trader and they won't let me have a normal bloody thing. I have to pay thousands per year for a bloody TradingView license. But so I use this for crypto and I use it for stocks. Okay. So that's why I've got the bias on there, because for me, it's about understanding the confluence. So, this, I've pulled this from another chart set, but this is my Bitcoin chart set. And this is what I use to trade Bitcoin. Okay. And I'm not interested in trading Bitcoin day trading. What I'm interested in is looking for confluence. So when you look at this move here from down here to there, that's a 40% move. That's a great trade. Okay. I'm not sort of, I have no emotional connection to Bitcoin. I just know it moves well. And when it moves well, I want to take advantage of it. Okay. Even if that's 3, 4, 5 times a year, it doesn't matter. I will do it. Okay. And same with Ethereum and the same with stocks. So for me, it's just a visualization, and I actually draw these lines on as well. Okay, it's just the way I do it. As soon as I see a signal come on this 30-minute, for example, I'll draw a line, I'll click on it, and I will sync in layout. So it goes on all the other charts. And then when I get a signal here, I'll do the same thing. And again, this, this takes time. This is a 30-minute. This is a 2-hour time frame. So I've got time to do that. Even if I'm out for a few hours, I come back, I see the signal, I draw the line on, and I wait for that confluence to be to there. I make the decision, and I buy whatever it is, $20,000-$30,000 worth of Bitcoin. And then when it's time to get out, I sell the Bitcoin. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Does that answer your question, Otis? That's correct, Otis. So a good stop position for me is always an initial stop is a roller coaster, but I'm not actually taking the signal because the last confluence is the xBrat algo.